Welcome back to the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Onativia, online course coach consultant, and as always, I'm here to get you excited about creating your online course. I'm also here to help you bust through any roadblocks you may be experiencing. And I know that sometimes the obstacles aren't about scripting or recording or how you're going to design your handouts, right? Sometimes it's about mindset and getting stuck in our own heads. And I wanted to bring on a resource for you to help you with just that. I met Coach Bobby Bluford through my mentor and client, Bo Eason. Coach Bobby is a fitness and personal development expert. He really brings the best of both of these worlds. And he was one of my first Accelerator students and really rocked out that class and launched his PermaFit course. I'm bringing him on to talk through what happens when that fear creeps in or when course creation starts to feel difficult. I want you to listen in and think about your own challenges and what's been holding you back. Coach, it is so awesome to have you on the Course Creation Incubator podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Gina.
I love working with you, Coach. You were part of the first Accelerator class of students. And one of the reasons I love having you as a student is because you're coaching right alongside me and so motivating and pep talking every single student. So I wanted to have you on because I think you have a unique perspective when we're feeling down on ourselves or when we're in fear of building out our courses. So first and foremost, I want to ask you, what holds us back from going after something that we know we want? Like, I talk to a lot of course creators who say, I know exactly what course I need to create, but I'm afraid. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great question. It's amazing because I think we're all in the same boat, right? I believe, and you know this, I believe that we have a dream and vision of what we are meant to be put inside us at birth. And the reason I know that is because if that vision or idea revisits you more than a couple times, then it's meant for you. And what we get caught up in is a few things. And I could probably answer this question for hours, but a few things are important to remember. Because we have evolved as a human species, there really is no requirement to be great anymore, right? There's no need for us to do anything to survive. So everything that we build in our lives, in our worlds, is out of, in some ways, some false projection internally of what we want to be, right? So we have to guard against that and fight against that and create environments around that. And two of the things that we're confronted with are innate to our being. One of those is a need for acceptance, which we all have,
Right.
And then a fear of rejection,
Okay.
right? Which is which gets established at a very early age for all of us. And those people who are able to defend against that early on are able to be great in their lives. I always say to people all the time, the people who are fastest at realizing that the other people's opinions don't matter are the ones who reach potential sooner. Everyone who's great has confronted and faced this dilemma where you have to stop caring about what people think, stop fearing rejection. So I think most of us, when we have these dreams, those two elements are at play. We fear rejection and we really need and want to be accepted. So that makes us not want to step forward. What happens is we get caught in this thing I call belief purgatory, right? Where you believe enough in this dream to think about it consistently, maybe even to start, right? To jot down notes, maybe to look into a course creator program, to start a workout program. So you believe enough to kind of continually start down the road, but you don't believe enough to finish it. Because if you didn't believe at all you could be a CEO, or you didn't believe at all you could build a course, or you didn't believe at all that you could lose 20 pounds, you would never start it. If you knew that you couldn't do it, you would never start it. But then you would never stop it if you knew it would work. If you knew this new program would work to make you lose weight, if this new teacher could help you build a course. If you knew for sure that was the case, then you would never stop. So most of us get caught in the middle of this belief purgatory, and we stay there forever, right? We keep believing enough to start it, but don't believe enough to finish. And I think that's kind of where we get stuck with all of our dreams, including building a course.
Oh, I don't like that belief purgatory, coach. I gotta say, I don't want anyone
Neither.
listening to be there.
No.
And I hear what you're saying about you got to stop caring what other people think. And I think maybe sometimes it's easier said than done.
Right.
So how do we get past that belief purgatory?
So I'm about to toot your horn a little bit, right? Because I was in, people who see me, and if you visit my YouTube channel or you visit my social media, you will see a person that has faced this dilemma in one arena of my life, and that's fitness, and that's football, and that was finance at some point. But I have wanted to build a course forever. And so I faced these same things where I believed enough to start. And I knew it would be a great idea. I knew kind of what my value was, but then I didn't really believe I could do it. I didn't really believe I could finish it. So how we get through that is we have to begin to find people that want to run with us. I call it the wolf pack, that want to push us, that want to hold us accountable. Because the more we are around people who aren't in that same frame of mind, in that particular venue that you're working toward, whether it's fitness or your business, you have to find somebody in that venue that A, believes in you, but that B, also is pursuing either the same thing or a similar thing, that's willing to run with you. And until you find that, it's so hard, because everywhere else around us, we don't have the support. So you might have, a moment of motivation and inspiration, but that fades unless you have people beside you who are pushing you and accountable, and who are also running, that can help you get past those moments, those inevitable moments where you begin to doubt and have fear.
Okay, I love this idea of the wolf pack. We've talked about this a little before. How do I know if you're my right wolf pack though? What's the criteria?
That's a great question. You don't know. I don't think you know until you start the path. And the important thing is to get in a pack, right? To get in a pack. And I think that's a great question, because it's the kind of question that prevents us from moving forward.
Right.
But how do I know this is the right diet? How do I know this is the right workout program? How do I know this is the right course accelerator program? You don't know. But if you start down the journey and you begin to build some momentum, you're better able to switch to a different, right, wolf pack. But if you never ever start and keep using that as kind of your crutch, then that's where many people stay forever. So the fear of messing up also stops us, right? The fear of not getting it right, the fear of having to make every step perfect. I used to always use an analogy when I was training athletes. I say, you have to shoot, if you're a basketball player, you have to shoot a lot of bricks to get your perfect shot.
Right.
Right. But those bricks lay the foundation for the perfect shot.
Yeah.
Right. So unless you start bricking today, right, that means your perfect shot is that much further away. Right. Yeah. So you have to brick your way through getting a shot like Steph Curry. Right. You have to brick your way there. You can't start off hitting, all net jumpers. Right. So when we relieve ourselves of this pressure of finding the right wolf pack, of finding the right workout, and just starting to shoot these bricks, right, to build a foundation, and knowing that there's going to take a number of bricks to get to the point where we have any success, that makes you at least want to start bricking now.
Yeah. No, and I love that. But I'm going to use it for Tristan, my son Tristan, who is a soccer player, and sometimes he shoots the ball and he's missing, right? He's missing a lot of shots. I'm going to tell him you're laying the bricks, right, to score the right goals. So I love that metaphor. And I think with the wolf pack too. So you came from Bo Eason's wolf pack originally, and that's how we met. You find the right wolf pack, and it begets other wolf packs, right? Like they show you the path to other people that you naturally want to spend time with and learn from.
Right. And I think, and this is what I learned from Bo's group. I think it's as much about being reminded that you're a wolf, right? It's not so much
Yeah.
that this wolf pack needs to be the right one. You just need to be reminded that you're a wolf, right?
Right.
And the sooner you do that, and the more often you do that, the better able you are to build the momentum in whatever you're trying to do. But what happens is, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but most of the world is sheep at what you want to be. Right now, your
Right.
neighbor might be a wolf at housekeeping. She might be a wolf at being a lawyer. She might be a wolf at parenting. But you want to lose weight, so in that regard, she's not a wolf. So most of the world, for what we want to do in our life, is sheep. So even if it's just being around people that remind you that you're a wolf, that keeps you motivated and inspired and build and gives you strength. Right. Part of why Boeing was so great is because it laid a foundation for me to remind me that I can be a writer, I can be a course creator, I can be a speaker, even though I grew up stuttering. And he tells us that as soon as you leave, remember, as soon as you leave, be ready, because the rest of the world is not like this. Right. So you walk
Right.
out and you find that that's true, but you're also looking for more people, and you're more attuned to finding people that match what you want. Now you're not getting rid of everybody in your life, but you're more attuned to who you are internally, and you're less afraid to be that person, and you're more likely to find other people in your life to add that become part of your new wolf pack in different areas of your life that give you strength in whatever area you're currently trying to progress at.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying too about you have to be reminded that you're a champion, right? That you're the best in Bo's case. And
Mhm.
I'm constantly reminding you, course creators, especially in the Accelerator group, you're the expert here. You are the authority. You're the best of what you have to share, because I know imposter syndrome is a real thing that creeps in for any course creator. As part of the process, you lose sight of who you are or why you're doing it, or if you're the true expert. And as you know, I'm constantly reminding you of that. You are a champion in whatever you're doing as a course creator.
Right. And you all, I mean, if the audience could see some of our dialogue, you and our dialogue, right?
Yeah.
You're always picking me up. And people are of this mindset that they don't need, again, we are trying to create in some ways, a fictitious measure of success, right? That's so far removed what it meant to be a human being thousands of years ago, right? No one cared that you had a law degree, or that you built a course, or that you had 5% body fat a thousand
Right.
years ago, right? So
Right.
we have created all these things, right? So because of that, we have to also create an environment that makes that possible, right? So it is about reminding. And so we can't be afraid to have people around us like Coach Gina for Coach Bobby, who reminds me when times where I'm like, man, I thought I could do this course. I thought people wanted Coach Bobby's mindset, and tutorials on this or that. And then you begin, as you remove yourself, on a day-to-day interaction with the people like Coach Gina, who reminds you, you begin to let other things around you deteriorate you back into what you were before you met said coach or said wolf pack. So you're right. You have to be reminded. You have to be vigilant about building and continuing to feed that structure, because you're right. Everybody has something about them that only they can bring to the world, and they know it,
Right.
right? Which is why they have
Yes.
this idea that keeps waking them up every night. That ain't
Right.
by accident. Right. So, but what happens is you wake up, oh man, I want to do this course on donkey hooves, right? I want to do this course on,
Yeah.
on how to go into, be in the police academy, or how to, Coach Bobby, how to lose 20 pounds. And then you wake up and now you got to change a diaper. Now you got to make lunch. Now you got to, return
Right.
3 sales calls.
Life
And
gets
you
in the way.
and more importantly, though, you forget that this was a dream that you had for a reason. You can do it. And God forbid you're not perfect in other areas of your life, which make you feel like, man, I can't do this. And if you let that feeling just sit there and marinate, it will paralyze you. So you have to have a call on Wednesday night with somebody to make you feel better again. You got to have, an accountability partner. You got to have discipline where every Tuesday you have to do a video, something that keeps you in the groove so that you continue to fight against the natural inclination to fall back into this sheep mentality, right? And this is a different sheep mentality. It's a sheep versus a wolf. And so you're right. We always have to remind ourselves, be reminded, find people around us who have their own stuff that can motivate us, right? To do our own thing because they're doing their own thing, but also they push us and motivate us. So you're right. I mean, that I can't undervalue or underestimate how important that is.
Yeah, I really hear what you're saying here. And I think part of it is I was watching a video of yours. If you're listening and you haven't seen Coach Bobby's videos, please check him out on Facebook. He does incredible videos about living in a zone of discomfort. So I think, yeah, I saw that one. And that's what kind of being a sheep's really about, right, Coach? And not wanting to push yourself is sometimes more comfortable than going into that zone of discomfort. So tell me a little bit about that. What does that mean? And how does that connect to course creation?
Well, first of all, did you see the dance at the end?
Oh yeah, of course I saw the dance. Of course I stayed to the end. Absolutely.
So it's so amazing. But I was thinking about it, and better than anybody. Like people who achieve greatness in their lives, we're not really special. Right? There's nothing about me that makes me special in the fitness, realm. I'll be 48 this year, and I'm not fit because I have some special.
But you look good. You're looking really good for 48, Coach. So let's just acknowledge that.
Most. Right, but it's because I said in the video, it's because I understood early on in this context. Now again, Coach Gina is helping me in other contexts to do the same thing, which is what you just asked me, right? What you asked me. But I was so fortunate early on to have this reason and this desire to always figure out what that line of discomfort was. And what it means is basically whatever we're trying to do in our lives, right? There's a certain levels at which we feel comfortable, right? If it's math, right? Whatever you're doing now and you've understand it now, you've kind of figured it out, that feels good because you get it, right? But as you progress, there's a new line of discomfort, right? This is kind of challenging. And it's only there where you can grow, right? If you're working out, right? I always say it ain't the first 8 burpees that get you better. It's the one you don't want to do.
Exactly.
The first 8 don't mean nothing to me, right? And so what made me where I am today and what I continue to tell myself when I'm working out is this is where I want to be, right? The part of the workout that nobody else wants to be at, right? This is the part of the workout that everybody leaves, and it's just me and the workout. And so what I did and what I try to do now in my other, endeavors, my other pursuits, like writing a book, like my online course, is I find people that make me stay there, right? In that realm. That make me write when I feel like I can't write anything, that made me do a video when I just stuttered through 3 videos. And so now I'm trying to do that same thing with my other endeavors, my speaking, my writing, where I'm making myself do the hard work, the work of the video I don't want to do.
Right.
Like the work of the writing when I can't write, not when it's flowing, the hour that I can't write. So that's the secret. And what happens is I tell kids all the time, I say, you have to learn to embrace those last 2 burpees.
Oh, I like it.
Last hour of studying.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's 2 things that happen there. Number one, that's where all the growth is. But I always say that the only reason you're going to make it in life is you have to have the ability, right, to, I call it the I'm not going to quit muscle. Right? I'm not going to quit. Right, this course is going to be hard to build, right? But it's going to be easier with guidance and a wolf pack around me. But it's going to be hard, right? But it's a muscle I want to develop because the world needs what I have to offer. And what happens is you have to know that it's only going to hurt in the moment it needs to. Right? When you wake up and you feel good about doing the course and you pull your paper out, you start writing notes. That's the fun part. When you get down to having to structure it and do a video and figure out if you're going live or you're doing this, it gets harder.
It gets hard. That's right.
Hard. But you have to embrace that, because building that muscle is going to make you grow. And that muscle can only be built in the moment you want to quit. Right? So my saying is, you can only build the I don't want to quit muscle in the moment you want to quit. That's the only time you can build it. I would say my favorite analogy is if you and I are doing, I say, do 20 burpees, Gina, in a minute, right? And I bang my 20 out, right?
Okay.
And you get 15, and then on that 16th one, even though you have 30 seconds left or whatever it is, you decide to stop. Right? You decided to stop. You were gonna die. But your brain and your protective mechanisms make you stop.
Right. Okay.
And I said, come on, Gina, push through it. You say, oh, I can't do it. I would say you can't or you won't. And so you say, I won't, right?
Right.
But then, so you did 15, right?
Right.
And then later on, you tell me, I'm wrapping up the class and say, all right, guys, have a good day. And I'm like, what are you doing, Gina? I'm doing my 5 burpees that I didn't do. It ain't the same 5.
Right.
Because that muscle that makes
I didn't push myself. Right.
But the muscle you needed, the I'm not going to quit muscle, could only have been worked in that moment.
Yeah.
When you wanted to quit.
Right.
And so part of what's going to help people get through this, right, with their course, is that when they want to quit, right, the structure of how you do it makes them build that I don't want to quit muscle. Right. Whereas before I had you, I tried building courses, right? But there was no one there to tell me you got 5 more burpees, Bobby. Right. And there's no one that would tell me when I said I can't do it, that said you can't or you won't. Right? You told me, Coach Bobby, that course is going out in 2 weeks. I said I can't. You can't or you won't. I guess.
And you got it done, and you did it.
Once you're confronted with that and you're forced to build a muscle, then you build the muscle, right? So, I mean, that's what gets me through it. I realize in those moments that even though it hurts, that's what my body, my brain, my course, my dream, right? That's what it needs. It needs that muscle to develop, and I can only do it then. I can't wait and do it an hour later. I can't do it tomorrow. That muscle can only be worked right then.
Muscle, you got to build it in the moment. And I think sometimes we forget in professional endeavors, like we know about pushing ourselves in a run, right? So like I'm training for a 10K. I know I need to push myself, but in a course creation aspect, sometimes we forget that we need to condition that muscle and build that muscle in the moment. And I think we're afraid to push ourselves. And that's a great reminder for me too, Coach, because you're giving me permission to not just push you, but to push every course creator that I work with, which I love.
You have to. And it's hard. And being a coach is hard, like being a parent.
Yeah.
Right?
It is hard, like being a parent.
But we're not inclined, any of us, to naturally push beyond pain. And we always think we can't do what in actuality is what we won't do. Right? Gina, you know this because I told you I was building my course a year ago at Boise. Right. Yeah. You're like, yeah, okay, well, good luck. Text me if you have any questions, right? And I think I texted you once or twice, but nothing.
Right.
And I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Right.
And then when you said, I'm doing a 6-week accelerator and I want you to do it, and we're going to get this course done in 6 weeks, I was like, okay. It's like losing 20% body fat in 6 weeks. I said, it's impossible. Right? But it wasn't impossible because there was structure.
Right. There was a framework and a wolf pack.
There was a wolf pack. And on all those moments, and there were many, when I wanted to stop on the 15th burpee, right? The metaphorical 15th burpee,
right?
That I can't do anymore. You said, you can't or you won't. And you made me answer that honestly. And the honest answer was, I won't. And so I changed it to, you know what? I won't. So now I'm going to do it. Now it won't be I won't anymore. I know it's not I can't, because I can do it. Right now I know all these years it's just been that I chose not to do it. I chose to avoid the pain of sitting out at my damn desk, of doing a video that might be not perfect, right? And putting together a course that might not be liked by everybody, but I finished it. And now I'm on session 2 of the course, session 3 starting in November. And then none of that never would have happened had I not had all those things in place.
Which I'm so proud of you, Coach, for pushing through and getting it done and welcoming so many students into the world. Like, you were just a shining example of what's possible. And this has been incredible. I hope everyone listening listens to this 23 times. Coach, you have so much to say, and you get me excited. Like, I want to go lift weights and go like run a marathon and do so many things. You just completely inspire me. Thank you so much for coming by. Have to have you back. Just thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome. I'm always here for you, Gina.
I know you are. So, and I appreciate that. So what did you think of Coach? He's amazing, right? Well, if you're interested in a regular dose of Coach and some of that inspiration he was giving in this episode and joining his wolf pack, check out coachbobbybluford.com/permafit. I'll put that in the show notes. Coach will help you lose weight, get toned, get your mind in shape. All right, I'll see you next week. Please rate and review this episode, especially if you're listening on iTunes, and then subscribe wherever or however you're listening so you don't miss one course creation tip. Until then, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.